Money's very important, but legacy is also important as well. I feel like I can't retire without fighting Inoue, so I need to get that fight before I do retire and, of course, beat him and make the money and enjoy it with my family.
Vargas was able to reach Bam, right? Does that have anyone reconsidering Inoue's chances against Bam? I've brought this up, Malik has brought this up. Inoue, Bam is not a very long fighter. He's compact.
Yes.
And Vargas was able to reach him partly just with the length of his arms, right? He's the taller guy. Does that make you think differently? Because Inoue is coming with bazookas.
What do you see that make you feel like you could compete with that?
I mean, he's a good fighter. He's strong. He has skill as well. But I mean, I have the whole package too. So, I mean, it's just a matter of actually stepping inside the ring with him, and I could say something, but I'd rather just.
The boxing world's most anticipated fight is finally becoming a reality. Naoya Inoue has officially confirmed on Instagram that a showdown with Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez is on the horizon, sending shockwaves across the sport. Building on the confirmation that a fight with Inoue is imminent, promoter Hearn admitted that the matchup is a genuine mega fight. However, he also highlighted the complicated tactical decisions that will need to be made ahead of the highly anticipated clash.
If we don't do it soon, we're probably going to miss the boat. I mean, you know, when we talked about the Inoue fight a year ago, Bam was at 115 pounds. He'd just come up from 112. You know, it looked like a bridge too far, you know, a step too far. Being at 118 and being one division away makes it much more realistic, but that was his first fight there tonight. And I think, you know, I'm a little bit of a fantasist when it comes to matching fights. For me, you know, I know there's weight classes for a reason, but I don't think the step is too far for him at 122. But I do think it's a disadvantage for him against Naoya Inoue. I mean, it can only be when you're fighting a much bigger.
However, Hearn explained that Bam could either remain at 118 pounds and attempt to unify all the belts, or move up to 122, a step he believes is ultimately inevitable. The real question is when that move happens, December, January, or even a year from now. Hearn admitted that the decision will largely depend on the offer presented.
And Bam are going to have to weigh up a decision. Do you do it now, or do you run the risk of letting it go forever? I don't think there's a bad decision, because, you know, realistically, Bam can stay at 118 pounds, fight all the champions, try and be undisputed. The move to 122 is inevitable. But is it in December, January, or is it in a year's time? So a lot depends on the offer. I've got to be honest. I mean, you know, I think it's going to have to be, and it will be, an attractive offer in the respect of it's really, I don't want to be disrespectful to Usyk because, you know, but he is coming to the back end. You're really looking at pound for pound number one, be pound for pound number.
Adding to the technical breakdown, Paulie Malignaggi focused on several key aspects of Jesse Rodriguez's game that often go overlooked. The former champion pointed out specific weapons in Bam's arsenal, the kind of tools that could make a major difference when facing elite competition.
Vargas was successful with some of that stuff, but Bam has really good footwork, really good pivoting moves on the inside. He gets off to the weak side a lot and creates new punching angles from that southpaw stance, and he was doing that well against Vargas. But Vargas was offsetting it well also while pivoting. See, Bam gets those earmuffs up at the southpaw stance and then pivots over to his right side. When he pivots over to his right side, he bends over, pivots to his right side, and spins. So he's got that angle on you, and he's able to repeat some left hands.
Expanding on Bam's success at 118, Mike Carpenter pointed to the Vargas fight as an important indicator. He noted that while Vargas is clearly not on Inoue's level, he is still a strong Olympian who tested Bam, and Bam never backed down, showing no fear as he was willing to engage and fight his way to victory.
Vargas is a good fighter. Vargas is a good fighter.
Good, you know, good technical fighter, and he was willing to put it on him. He wasn't scared. He was there to win. So that's he'll have another fight, you know, before he fights in the Monster. He'll get more acclimated, and I do think that really Bam's youth and how fresh he is kind of neutralizes maybe the gap in
But
size.
that's another weight division up, too. It's not just that he's fighting.
Going up again.
What do you think? Like, I have to admit, I was kind of split on Bam versus the Monster early on. Maybe the Monster's length gives him a little advantage. And then in recent fights, I thought Bam is too young.
Building on the age and prime argument, Zittel made a strong case for why Bam Rodriguez could hold a crucial advantage over Naoya Inoue. The analyst pointed to the difference between a fighter entering his physical prime and one who may have already moved past it, suggesting that Bam's timing could become a key factor in a potential matchup.
One fighter is peaking at 26 years old, and that's Jesse Bam Rodriguez. The other fighter is Naoya Inoue, who's 33, and fighters' primes in this era last longer than they once did. But still, 33 was once, at least, thought of as a pretty old age in the bantamweight and flyweight type divisions and featherweight divisions. And while Inoue is still arguably the best fighter in the world pound for pound, his peak is behind him. I think his father thinks that too. I think that's part of why they pumped the brakes on moving to 126. I think that was smart because just looking at Inoue's body in the Nakatani fight, he was smaller than Nakatani, who was coming up from 118. I think his body wasn't asking him, from the looks of it, to become a featherweight, at least just yet.
Expanding on that idea, Zittel made his boldest prediction yet about Bam Rodriguez's future. The analyst compared his confidence to a Joe Willie Namath guarantee, the kind of prediction that leaves little room for doubt. He laid out a clear path for Bam: first unify the titles at 118 pounds, establish himself as the undisputed king at bantamweight, and then move up to 122 to challenge Naoya Inoue at the perfect moment. For Zittel, this is more than a dream scenario. It is a blueprint he believes Bam can and will execute.
If they fight next year or so, in the next 12 months or so, Bam Rodriguez will pull off the upset and he will beat Naoya Inoue. He has the best trainer in the world in Robert Garcia, and he is the best trainer in the world's prized pupil. I don't think there's any other fighter right now that has the apple of Robert Garcia's eye like Bam Rodriguez. So, to lay it out, fight Takama Inoue, unify at 118, beat Inoue's brother, and then move up in your first or second fight in the next 12 months or so and fight Inoue, and I think he beats him. I'm saying he beats him right here and right now.
Shifting to defensive concerns, Malik Scott raised a critical question about Bam's ability to withstand Inoue's power. He pointed to a specific part of Bam's defensive approach, arguing that relying on that shell could become problematic against a puncher with Inoue's precision and fight-ending ability. Scott's concern suggests that Bam may need to make adjustments before stepping into the ring with a finisher like the Monster.
Another weight division up, too. It's not just that he's fighting.
Going up again.
What do you think? Like, I have to admit, I was kind of split on Bam versus the Monster early on. Maybe the Monster's length gives him a little advantage. And then in recent fights, I thought Bam is too young and fresh. Southpaw boxer, the whole thing. And after watching Vargas tag Bam, I'm like,
I changed a little bit.
Yeah, right? I'm back kind of 50-50.
You know why I did is because I don't trust that earmuffs defense against the Monster. I really don't. It makes me ask questions because he could probably.
And you could hear it because you could hear that through the earmuffs.
Yes.
You could hear that sound through the earmuffs.
So Malik, so you're going with the Monster then. So I'm going to go with Bam then if you're going.
Adding another layer to the discussion, Paulie Malignaggi pointed to a factor that could completely change the dynamic of a potential Rodriguez-Inoue clash. The former champion noted that timing could favor Bam, with Inoue reaching an age where certain physical attributes may begin to decline.
You back Rodriguez up more than one step. Sometimes he'll take that one step and dip and pivot and so on and so forth. But if you back him up more than one step, you back him up 2-3 steps at a time with your offense. There was one time Vargas did it at the end of round 2. Rodriguez's head movement sort of disappears when he's going back like that. It's hard to do it to him because, you know, usually he'll take a step back and then just pivot or change levels. He's got great level changes, by the way. But if you can get the momentum of Rodriguez going back consistently, he actually seems to just put the earmuffs up and the head movement stops. I only noticed Vargas really was able to do that once, but it makes you think, again, if somebody like Inoue can consistently back up Rodriguez, does all the head movement and switch of punching angles and switch of level changes, does that sort of start disappearing? And that's not just for adept offensive tactics, that's also...
Building on the timing argument, Paulie's warning comes from experience and genuine concern. As a former two-weight champion who faced elite punchers, he understands the danger of moving up in weight too quickly. When Paulie noted that Bam felt Vargas's power, he was subtly signaling a red flag. If Vargas managed to shake him, Inoue's compact and devastating right hands could present an entirely different level of danger. Paulie isn't questioning Bam's talent. He's warning him against making a career-altering mistake.
If you're gonna be susceptible to those shots, you gotta start wondering, could Inoue hurt Rodriguez, catch him consistently with some of those shots that Vargas was catching him with? Because if you get hit with those tight, straight shots from Inoue, it's a lot different for them from Vargas. And if you're telling me that you were feeling the ones from Vargas, you're gonna move up in weight again and fight Inoue, and Inoue's power against smaller guys, and obviously Bam is a smaller guy as well. It's shown to be pretty devastating. Now again, I love this fight. I love the Inoue fight, but I think that Bam probably should take one fight at 122, maybe around October. If I'm Bam's team, that's what I would look into. I would love to know what you guys think.
Shifting to the tactical outlook, Radio Raheem presented a clear split scenario for a potential Rodriguez-Inoue clash. They conceded that if the fight goes the distance, Inoue's experience and precision would likely give him the edge. But if a stoppage occurs, they believe Bam could create it by catching Inoue early or finding the right opening in the pocket to land a fight-changing shot.
So for me, the question will be, how much of the storm can Inoue weather? And when he does end up getting that, if the fight goes long enough, for him to get that second gear, that second win, that spinach in the corner, that phenomenal recharge that Inoue is known for, at that point, if Bam is still being able to be hit the way Vargas hit him, will he then overwhelm Bam Rodriguez? If Inoue, for me, wins this fight, it's down the stretch. It's Bam fight early, Inoue's fight.
Turning to the legacy debate, Raheem and Ziddle considered whether beating Inoue would propel Bam into global superstardom, or if Inoue's proven box office appeal and championship experience make him an overwhelming favorite. They acknowledged Inoue's ability to find another gear when needed, a quality that has defined his career, leaving them divided over whether Bam could truly dethrone the Japanese icon on boxing's biggest stage.
You say he's got to figure Bam out in the first 3-4 rounds and maybe lose those rounds. I think if he goes in there with that mindset, he's finished. I think he's got to go in there with no respect. He's got to go in there and force Inoue to prove that at that age, he's still the guy that can do something that is going to make Bam change his strategy. Bam's got to go in there and do Bam things and force Inoue to make him do other things. Don't go in there trying to figure out what Inoue is going to do and then download information and all that shit. No, he's going to beat you that way. You need to go in there and be Mexican. Mexican-American, Mexican with Mexican national heritage. You need to go in there and be that, like, American psycho.
Building on the tactical discussion, Robert Garcia offered an intriguing breakdown of how elite fighters battle for ring control. One fighter uses a wide stance to command the outside and keep his opponent at range, while the other patiently works to close the distance and fight on the inside. Garcia explained that this chess match of positioning often determines who controls the pace and lands the cleaner shot.
Have you gotten a lot of calls about Bam and Inoue yet?
A lot.
And what do people tell you, Robert?
They want to see it, they love it.
They all say that Bam wins, right?
Everybody loves it.
Pete, I've been saying that for 7 years. 7? I have the video, 7 years. Bam was amateur and I called it. I have the video because we called his dad on FaceTime.
How old is he right now?
Who?
26.
Yeah.
Was there. Let's wait till Inoue's 41. And
you don't need to wait.
After the fight, he's like, let's do it next.
You said let's do it next?
So wait till he's 41. Wait till he's 41. We have a fight.
Okay, after the fight. Respect. Respect Antonio Vargas.
Building on the growing excitement around a potential super fight, Jesse Bam Rodriguez has officially called out pound for pound King Naoya Inoue, setting the stage for what could be one of the most explosive clashes in modern boxing. This isn't empty talk from a fighter simply chasing a payday. It's a calculated statement from a young champion who genuinely believes he has the tools to defeat the sport's most feared fighter.
Well, by the time we're in the same weight class, I feel like I'll be have a bigger frame, be a lot older, wiser.
And there's no one better to analyze this than Garcia himself. He has been in Bam Rodriguez's corner from the very beginning, helping shape him into the tough and relentless fighter the world sees today. Having developed Bam's style and mentality from the ground up, Garcia's insight carries serious weight. He understands exactly how his fighter operates in the pocket and what adjustments Bam would need to make against a master of distance like Inoue.
Beautiful one. Straight back to straight.
Oh. Went out there watching
Right now, we're at the top of Mount Rubidoux.
Adding another powerful voice to the growing discussion, promoter Eddie Hearn watched Inoue's latest performance and became more convinced than ever that Bam could be the fighter to beat him. Hearn admitted he once had doubts about whether the step up would be too big or if Bam was truly ready, but seeing him look bigger, stronger, and completely comfortable at bantamweight changed his perspective. The age gap also works in Bam's favor. At 26, with Inoue at 33, Hearn believes the window for this matchup is open right now.
I watched Inoue up close in Saudi, and I've never been more convinced that Jesse Bam Rodriguez beats him. Honestly, like for a long period of time, I thought it might be a step too far for Jesse, but now Jesse's up at bantamweight and feels big and strong there. Like, I just think he's too good for him. He's 26 years old, and what's Inoue, 33 now? Like, I don't see Bam losing to him.
But what truly convinced Hearn goes beyond physical attributes and reaches into something far more intangible, something that can't be measured on a scale or timed with a stopwatch. Hearn revealed that what really sold him wasn't even the physical side of Bam's game. It was the look in his eyes. There is zero doubt, not the mindset of a fighter who thinks he might be able to travel to Japan and win, but the belief of someone who genuinely wants the challenge.
He's an amazing fighter, and he's a superstar. I know Bam beats him because Bam's got it in here, and Bam don't give a fuck. Like, Bam will go to Japan tomorrow. He wants to go to Japan, and there is absolutely no doubt in Bam's head that he beats Naoya Inoue. So he's got a fight against Vargas, who's a very, very good fighter. It's not going to be easy, but come through that. Let's just make it.
And that brings us to the end. Fight fans. What an incredible showdown between Jesse Rodriguez and Naoya Inoue. From the opening bell to the final seconds, both warriors gave everything inside the ring, displaying elite skill, toughness, and championship-level determination. This was the kind of fight that reminds us why we love boxing. High-level action, dramatic moments, and two world-class fighters refusing to take a step back. Now the big question is where both fighters go from here. Should the winner chase another super fight, pursue a title unification, or perhaps set up a rematch if the battle was close? There are plenty of exciting possibilities ahead, and the boxing world will be watching closely to see what happens next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest boxing news, fight previews, results, and analysis. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.